What's going on, guys? This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. I am really excited to be out here and showing off the latest release from Vanquish products, the VRD Carbon. I'm really excited to go drive this. I built it last week. I did not do a build video because I know of multiple people who have done build live streams. So you got like Josh with Harley Designs, you got Matt with Scale Builders Guild, and then I believe Joe with Exo Caged RC also did a live build. So the building has been covered. I want to show this thing out on my terrain and how it performs out on the rocks. Let's take a look inside the truck, how I configured it myself. Let's talk about some of the highlights of the parts used on this kit, and then we're gonna go check out how this thing performs, and I'm gonna spoil it. It's really damn good. I'm excited to go do this. Let's check it out. All right, guys, so here it is, and this paint work was not done by me because I like to do 1- and 2-tone paint jobs because that's about all I'm capable of. Shout out to my buddy Jason. You can find him on Instagram at Bonehead RC. Bonehead RC painted this up for me, and man, he did an awesome job on this. The only thing I told him to do was use silver and blue because that's kind of like Vanquish's colorway, and it's on the VRD Carbon, so I thought that was appropriate. I really like what he does with the windshields here, how it's kind of like streaked out with this style of graphic on here. And so Jason did an awesome job and put some really cool little details in here. In the grill it says WDW, so little stuff like that just makes it really cool and personalized. Let's pop the body and take a look at what's going on inside. So this is a Proline Coyote body, and the sliders are a little bit wide for this particular body. I thought this was more similar to the Cliffhanger. This is narrower and the fenders are more aggressive. They are bigger cut openings, which is nice. The Cliffhanger rubs typically, so this is a improvement in my account. So here we go. This is the VRD Carbon. So obviously we've got ourselves a carbon chassis, a flat rail design. Very cool to see from Vanquish themselves. They've got their new cross members going on in here. So the new things that we're really seeing on this kit is the combination of parts for the transmission, the servo on axle mount for these F10 portal axles, and then the chassis. So we've already seen different variations of the VFD transmission, whether it's been the twin or the standard VFD. This is not a twin, so there's no shifting mechanisms. It's just a 4-wheel drive transfer case to get power to your axles. The axles on here are absolutely one of my favorite designs. These are the F10 portal axles, and I've used these on multiple projects and I am a big fan. They're very strong and robust. The portal gears are excellent. This thing is just rock solid. So they're using a rock solid transmission that uses lightweight gears that also produce overdrive for this truck right out of the kit. Then in the portal gears on the axles, the Vanquish Ultra had a different gear ratio than the Phoenix. The Ultra was lower than the Phoenix portals. So they put Ultra gears in the rear as an underdrive, and then they put Phoenix gears in the front, which gives you the additional overdrive from the transmission and also in your portal reduction. So you're getting like 37% overdrive. It's very noticeable, and it really helps out here on the rocks. So let's talk about the parts that I added to this, because it comes as a slider. So you're gonna get your axles, transmission, chassis kit, shocks, drive shafts. You have to add wheels and tires, a body, and electronics. Wheels and tires, we've got our Spec RC comp cut wheels. I've got the 425 hubs, I believe is what they are. I've got Vanquish scale hardware on there, and then I've got some locked up RC scale hardware in the beadlock rings. Inside the tires, we've got SL3D squid inserts. These things are excellent. And then on top of the inserts, we've got the Proline crawler in the G8 compound. And these are some old crawlers I've had that are well scrubbed in that get higher traction than brand new crawlers. So as much as I want to put brand new tires on this truck, this is a higher performing tire for me. For electronics, we've got a Hobbywing 1080 ESC. I went brushed on this instead of brushless. That's pretty weird for me. We've got a Holmes Polar 400 motor in there, got a FlySky GT5 receiver, and we've got a Reefs Raw 800 low profile servo on that servo on axle setup. And that's pretty well it. We got a 1400 3S battery pack hanging out on the slider there. That's the only change I've made from the kit, is I used an Axial SCX 10.3 battery tray just to stop my battery from sliding forward and back. It just secures it in place a little more. As you can see, the sliders have little slots cut in both sides, and the Velcro actually runs through the bottom side of the slider, how I have it set up right now. So that's it, that's the truck. Let's get to driving. I'm really excited to show what this thing is capable of. So one of the immediate things you're gonna notice about this kit, if you build it to the kit form, is that it is a lightweight truck. I'm used to like a 6.5 to 7 pound truck, and this thing is lightweight, and it just pulls off lines like that you just don't expect it to. It just doesn't have to haul that weight uphill, and it is immediately noticeable of just the lightweight and its performance. That's a really hard climb, and that thing just walked it. Another thing that's immediately noticeable, check this out. Check out our turning radius. All that overdrive really makes this thing turn. That was a very tight U-turn. Again, that upper 30% of overdrive. So something kind of funny is that I've actually been like stressing out over where I want to take this truck, which obstacles I want to drive on for this video, because I know how capable it is after driving it the first time. I didn't record anything. I just went out and drove a couple battery packs through it with some friends, and I'm a little stressed out because I want to show off how good it really is. So I need to find some obstacles that can show that look difficult, to show you guys how good this truck is. Yeah, the lightweight right there really saved it. If it was any heavier, those tires would have broke traction sooner. And then we're gonna climb up over here. Just great turning. And this is probably the most articulation I've seen out of a Vanquish truck. The VS410 line, typically you see about 3/4 of a tire of travel, meaning like if you have a 4.75 tall tire, you get like 4.5 inches of flex, maybe a little less. This guy has more than a tire. You're around 5 inches of articulation with this chassis setup, which I'm a fan of. That's where I like my trucks. Now, as far as wheel and tires are concerned, these Spec RC comp cuts, you have to use a little bit wider hub on these than you would for like a Capra portal. The F10 portals are kind of they're a hard design to get wheels to fit over. They're a little bit bulky. They are very strong. I'm a big fan of the F10 portal, but as far as wheels go, you got to be a little more selective on which wheels fit. Now, the Vanquish wheels fit pretty good. Obviously, they would make them work well with their wheels. But the inserts that we're using, these SL3D squid inserts, those inserts in combination with these scrubbed in crawlers just seem to be like the absolute perfect combo for this truck. The amount the tires are conforming with these inserts, as well as the amount that they fight side hilling, they're just the right combo on this truck. I'm loving them on here. And it just seems like these tires are getting even more traction with this truck somehow. I don't know whether it's just the weight difference that I'm really seeing, or if this really is the right insert for this weight truck compared to my Class 2 that I've been running them on. Now, speaking of my Class 2, I've had a very, very similar build that I've been competing with this year. It is my Rock Pirates Interceptor chassis, and that guy is on F10 portals with a VFD transmission. Now, I have my overdrive through the ring and pinion, so I have somewhere in the low 20% range of overdrive, so not quite getting as much as this guy, and the chassis setup is just a little more, has a little more weight to it. I think that truck weighs about 1 pound more than this truck does. Now, I also have the fat brass weights on the axles, whereas this kit has whereas this truck has the metal molded weights that are included with the kit. They are not brass. There's some type of alloy. It is dense. It is a good amount of weight down low, right on the knuckles, and I'm really glad that it is included with the kit, but they are not brass. They are not as heavy as brass. And I weighed them on the scale the other day, and I was comparing the weight of these to the low offset brass portal covers from Vanquish, as well as the heaviest offering from Vanquish. And even the low offset brass does weigh a noticeable amount more than what these do. I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head. I want to say 60, somewhere in the 65 gram range each. I've never seen a drag axle get up this. We will see if this truck can. But it's just kind of the wrong setup for this guy, so it may not work, but it doesn't mean we can't try. His rears just get a little too trapped down in there. Okay, use the roof to kind of pivot up and around. It didn't touch the body right there. Holy cow. Never made that line before with a truck like this. I've seen a four-wheel steer Capra do it. My buddy Bennett pulled it off. There we are. Nice. There it is. More just demonstration of how capable this thing really is. And this thing is kit form. I haven't changed anything. I haven't modified it. I haven't tuned it. Like, I just put it together and it's this good. Needs a little more, maybe not, yeah. Some throttle modulation. I want to say a little more weight up front. Maybe just a little different tire placement. This is a tricky one. It's a pretty tall climb. Hello, Sydney. Out here with my trail dog, Sydney, having a good time on the rocks with her. She found a tennis ball. She's very excited. This is my first time running a Holmes Polar motor setup in a shaft-driven truck. I have some experience with their Polar 500s in MOA cars. Big fan of those in the MOAs, and ended up with a Polar 400, and so we put that in this truck as I also had an ESC for it, so it worked out. I was real excited when this truck came in, so I was just searching the parts bins for things I had available to put in this, and that was the combo I had readily available. So that servo we've got on this truck is just running off the internal Hobbywing 1080 BEC, 7.4 volts. It is the original 1080, not the G2. And it's still getting really good performance. These little low pro 800s are really quite incredible with what they can do. And because it's the low pro, a little bit less weight, it is on top of the axle servo mount. My understanding is Vanquish has a behind the axle servo mount in the works, but you're gonna have to run a stubby VFD that is also in the works. So not available as of yet, but I'm looking forward to when that might be available. She settled down. The overdrive really makes a difference, and it pulls it off. These are lines that I usually don't film because they take way too long. We're gonna see what happens with this truck, because you got to get fronts up on the wall, and then you're gonna have to bump to get your rears up. Hopefully we don't fall off and crash. That'd be a sad day with this bonehead body. Now, well, it's one thing you'll notice with the high overdrive trucks, when you reverse, your suspension will want to get all weird on you because the front is trying to outrun the rear, and it does some wonky things to your suspension. So much traction. Look at the way it just sticks to those rocks on this crazy angle. That's what I'm talking about with these inserts in the tires. I'm having to like be aggressive trying to get the traction to brake. It just wants to hold on. Now this obstacle may not work out. I've never seen a Class 2 style truck do it, but if there is one that can do it, it's probably this guy. So now we're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? There we go, get that front down on the ledge. There it is. Just crazy amounts of traction. Let's go VRD, come on. Trying to get this thing to go. Now, on my first drive, where I went and burned a couple batteries, just out having fun with some friends, one of those guys out there had an SCX-10 Pro, and we ran lines together to compare the trucks. They are very similar, and I think that each one will have its pros and cons, as the Pro is a straight axle truck, and the VRD is a portal truck. So depending on exactly what you're after, if you want to do absolute vertical hill killing, the straight axle may just have an edge, but it's going to be very slight. Listen to those crawlers claw. Come on, come on. Yes, yes, come on. Let's go VRD. Stick with it. It's not that steep over here, but it's just slick and just trying to find a hook somewhere. If I can get my right rear on that little ramp, but that's dangerous because it can slide off over there. Sydney, don't push me off the cliff. Holy hell. You gotta see this monster I have to deal with. Stopped and grabbed ourselves a thumbnail. I'm still trying to figure out this exit. We've been working on this for a minute now. I really think we're gonna have to get aggressive and bump this. And there's a definite chance it can come off the wall. Maybe a carry just a little momentum possibly. Damn, that was close. Well, she made it further than any other truck I've seen attempt that, but unfortunately it was getting to the point where like within reason wasn't working, so I kind of had to go crazy and she ended up falling off. That's how it goes sometimes. Maybe later we'll get it, but today got declined. Still a damn good effort, and it got to the last obstacle. Hopefully in the future we can pull that one off. Say hi to everybody, Sid. Oh, hello, hello. I'm out here cruising around on the trails with me today. Got the trail buddy. So it's kind of time to start wrapping this up. And what do we want to say about the Vanquish VRD carbon kit? I gotta say, this is one of the best performing RCs right out of the box available. Now, as mentioned, there are some competitors out there that there's only one I can think of that's like on this level. They're very similar. Each one will have its pros and cons, but I really like the VRD. I don't not like the other one, but I do really like the VRD. And this is without any tuning at all. This is just making it a working truck, and man, is it good. So my thanks to Vanquish for helping me get one of these kits in to make a video for you guys. Much appreciated. Thank you, Vanquish. Thanks to Reefs for their support, Spec RC, SL3D, and friends of the channel. Thanks to Bonehead RC for getting it done quick. Normally he's got a bit of a wait list, but made an exception on this one, so thanks, Jason. I was playing with this with my rear steer truck the other day, and I wonder if with the smaller tires and without rear steer, if we can make this happen. Okay, we got our front up. Kind of want to get our rear down. Uh-oh. We're into our bumper. Really just trying to see what's going on with the fronts to get them to do what I want. It doesn't have the width. I can't get the right up and climbing before the left falls in the hole. At least not on this angle. Really trying to. Again, this is a rear steer line. Is there any way to get that front across? Close. We're very close now. I think we're there. As I turned, it fell off. Oh, there she goes again. My right rear came off, left rear. There it is. Are the sliders gonna let us through? We're on them, but they did their job and let us slide through. Sick. That's a hell of a line for a truck like this, man. Just having the clearances and, oh dear. Thanks to those F10 portals letting me just push hard on them like that. They don't care. Yeah. This is the narrowest truck I've run through here, and this is a wide spot in this crack I've not tried before. Pretty awesome, but if you fall in, it's a big hole. There it goes. VRD fully capable of running some technical lines. Which exit are we going with? I think we got to go left with the way the tire is actually on the wall on the right side. If I turn passenger, it'll just roll. Go a little further. Stupid bushes are in our way. Oh, those are gonna hurt us. Maybe a little throttle. Oh, she's gonna climb it on out. There we go, Sydney. That was a wild one, huh? I drove this line for the first time with my Rock Pirates Kraken the other day. Cut and shut trepadors, rear steer, flat rail chassis, metal Vanquish Capra axles, all the goodies. Let's see if the VRD can hang. Okay, it's going vertical right here. This is steep. That overdrive keeping the front end on the rocks. It's making good progress. We need to get that front right to stay settled. It's gonna pivot, which is fine. Our roof saved us there, it's okay. That's what I want, actually. I want the truck to aim that direction. I haven't tried this with anything but my Kraken within the last 2 years. There it goes, front's broke free. Just needs to climb this last climb, and this is the first class 2 I've ever had go up this. I want to get that rear, we'll just drive straight in. There we go. That's a full climb, full pull. Let's see if we can get out of this jam though. So I considered it made at this point. I'm just for extra credit, see if we can get out to the right of this. These bushes will bully you out here, man. Ooh, we got a good... It's so close. Fully jammed up. up and all the way out. The VRD pulls it off. Hell yeah. Another win for the VRD. This truck is bad. Well guys, that is going to be my video on the Vanquish VRD. I have been very impressed by this truck, and I think it is an absolutely serious performer. It's amazing how good it is compared to my fully built trucks, and the fact that it came straight out of the box. It's really wild. It's convinced me so much so that I've already got a bunch of upgrades on the way for it. And as in upgrades, I mean aluminum axle housings, because I just want to make them stronger. Not that they need it, but also I like the Vanquish aluminum housings. They're really pretty. So those are on the way for the truck. Really looking forward to that, as well as a little bit heavier brass in the front. It has really good weight bias right now. It's got forward low weight. That's what that VFD helps do. Gets the motor forward and low in the chassis. The transmission itself is really light. The battery on the slider is a great location. Servo on axle keeps the weight unsprung on the axle. That really helps out. So it's just a solid, well thought out design, and I really like it. My goal today was to try and show how capable it was, so hopefully that translated. I wanted to find obstacles that looked difficult and then show it doing those obstacles. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. The Vanquish VRD, absolutely recommended by me if you're looking for a performance truck. And that's what I do. I drive performance trucks. I know performance trucks. This is a performance truck. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Be sure to hit the affiliate link down below if this video helped persuade you to pick one up online. I have a couple different ones to A-Main and Horizon, but always support your local hobby shops like mine, Sky RC down in St. George, Utah. I'm gonna go and get my upgrades over there. So thank you guys very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep the rubber side down.